5 things narcissists do when you're not manipulatable anymore. Have you ever felt like you're finally free from someone's manipulative grip, only to find that they come back in full force, determined to regain control? If you've ever dealt with a narcissist, you know that their power lies in their ability to manipulate, influence, and shape the emotional world of those around them. Narcissists thrive on control, and they are masters of manipulation, using everything from subtle guilt trips to overt emotional blackmail to keep others under their sway. But when they notice that you're no longer under their influence, they don't just walk away. They often intensify their tactics in a last-ditch effort to regain control. In this article, we'll dive deep into the 5 major behaviors narcissists display when they realize you're no longer manipulatable. Stick around, because understanding these behaviors could be the final key to breaking free from a narcissist's hold for good. Before we jump into the discussion, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this content to support others in gaining the tools they need to navigate toxic relationships. Let's get started on the journey to understanding these 5 common reactions, and how you can protect your peace by recognizing each tactic for what it is. Part 1. Escalation tactics when they realize control is slipping. When a narcissist senses that their usual tactics aren't getting the response they want, their immediate reaction is often to escalate. It's similar to a child throwing a tantrum when they don't get their way. However, with a narcissist, the escalation is far more calculated and psychologically intense. They recognize that the subtle methods they once relied on, small insults, guilt trips, or passive-aggressive remarks, are no longer effective in controlling you, so they push harder, often using more blatant tactics to try and break down your emotional defenses. This escalation is designed to provoke you, to shake you up, and to regain the influence they feel slipping away. Escalation can take many forms, depending on the narcissist's personality and the relationship context. They might use sharper insults, criticizing you more harshly, often targeting your vulnerabilities or past mistakes in a way that they know will sting. The goal is to strike you where it hurts most, hoping to provoke a reaction that re-establishes their hold over your emotions. For example, if they know you're sensitive about your work or family, they might suddenly start belittling those aspects of your life. Alternatively, they may resort to dramatic displays of anger or emotional distress, feigning outrage or sadness, all to pull you back into their orbit of influence. By pushing you to respond, whether by defending yourself, explaining your actions, or reacting emotionally, they're hoping to confirm that they still have control. Narcissists thrive on your emotional responses, whether they're positive or negative, because reactions from others validate their sense of power. But by escalating their behavior, they're also revealing a critical weakness, their dependence on your reactions. This need for control isn't just a preference, it's essential to their sense of self-worth. When their ability to elicit responses fades, they feel a deep sense of insecurity. Recognizing escalation as a tactic rather than a genuine reaction helps you maintain perspective and avoid personalizing their words. Their sharp comments, dramatic accusations, or exaggerated emotional displays are not reflections of your worth. They are deliberate attempts to regain control. One of the hardest parts of dealing with escalation is resisting the instinct to correct their narrative or defend yourself. Narcissists are experts at twisting situations and making statements that are misleading, exaggerated, or outright false, with the aim of drawing you into a defensive position. For instance, they may accuse you of things you didn't do, bring up past grievances out of context, or even blame you for issues they caused. It's natural to want to set the record straight or defend your boundaries, but engaging often only fuels their tactics. Every time you react, even to clarify or defend, you provide them with the emotional validation they crave. Instead, try acknowledging their statements without reacting emotionally. Using neutral phrases like "I understand your perspective" or "that's how you see it" allows you to acknowledge them without giving in. These responses are non-confrontational and signal that you're not emotionally invested in their provocations. It may feel unnatural at first, especially if their words are hurtful or misleading, but it's an effective way to diffuse the situation without escalating further. Over time, consistent neutrality sends a powerful message: their attempts to manipulate you are ineffective. Without the satisfaction of a reaction, many narcissists eventually begin to lose interest, seeking out new sources of validation from people who are more susceptible to their tactics. It's important to stay grounded during these moments and to remind yourself why you're choosing emotional unavailability. Escalation tactics can feel intense, but they are often the narcissist's last resort when they feel their control slipping away. As they become more frustrated by your lack of engagement, they may 5 things narcissists do when you're not manipulatable anymore.